What's up, guys? It's your boy Churro with my very first BGS sub return, and yeah, it's very good. It's my very first card, the Blue Eyes White Dragon Rush Duel Edition. This is a reimagining of the original SDK artwork that was in Japan before it was came to started at Kaiba, and you can see it's just insane. The way that Yu-Gi-Oh does their foil pattern is just insanely cool. I love the way it, like, when you shift it, it shines differently. I mean, it's just awesome. So, like, by itself without being graded, this is like a $30 Blue Eyes, and this is about $130 or $100. And I mean, I just had to get this graded. It just looks so fucking cool. And I love the way, I really like BGS's slabs. Their slabs, I believe, protect the card the most. And don't worry about those little micro scratches on the slab, those will buff out. The stuff you can buy like this, just look up on Google fine scratch, acrylic or plastic fine scratch. I think acrylic you need actually fine scratch remover. And all you do is you rub it on the slab with a paper towel and then rub it in until it basically gets into all the cracks and whatnot. And then you just wipe off the excess and clean the card. It will not work for a giant like crack in the case or anything. It's only for like, minor surface scratches, but it will make your slabs look a lot better. And yeah, it's just, I mean, this card is just insane, man. Love the artwork on that. Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely one of my favorites. So our next three cards are all Magic. This is King Ghidorah from Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths. So Magic has been doing this thing lately where they do collaborations with other artists, other companies, franchises, and they do these like alternate arts or secret rare cards or whatever, and they just look so fucking cool. This is King Ghidorah, and I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful card. You can tell it's from a Japanese printer because there's not too much foiling. Like, if you look really closely, there is foil in the background, but only the dragon itself is actually lighting up, and this little logo and the text down here is lighting up. That's the easiest way that you can tell. This is the American version from an American printer. And I mean, you can just see, you can actually see a lot better the artwork in this light. See, like blowing up a jet. And, you know, it just doesn't look as good. You really have to see it in person. It just looks a lot better when it's only it's only the foil parts that should be foil instead of just the whole thing. It just looks a lot better. So our next two cards are from War of the Spark. Again, another Magic the Gathering collaboration. I mean, this card is just really. I really like how just the eyes light up and the pattern on his sword is lighting up. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful card. So, 2019 War of the Spark. And again, those scratches, I haven't put that stuff on yet. They will come off, and it makes the slab look a lot better. And yeah, it's very easy. War of the Spark, when they came out in the Japanese version, they did a collaboration with a bunch of famous manga and anime artists in Japan, and they made alternate arts of the Planeswalkers, aka this dude, and a bunch of other artworks too. Characters. And as you can see, you got this is his name in English, and that's his name in Japanese. And Mythic Rare, it's the highest rarity you can get in Magic that I know of, maybe besides like promo or whatever. Um, yeah, it's a very, very beautiful card. And this is actually the last time this character was printed because, spoiler alert, he dies in the story of that card set. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the most expensive version of Gideon. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful card. And my only gripe about this is Beckett really screwed me on this because this is point five points away from a pristine 10. And with Beckett, the rule is your final grade can only be point 0.5 higher than your lowest grade out of these four. So if I got an 8, that means this would be a 9. And if I got anything lower than that, that would only be 0.5 higher than what they gave me. But I really want to resubmit that card, but yeah, it's really 10 worthy, but you know, Beckett will be Beckett. So this is a little bit of dust. This is the most expensive card out of the set. Liliana Dreadhorde General, Japanese. And I mean, this is an amazing, amazing card. So the non-foil version of this card is like, you know, 100, 120 bucks. And the foil version is in the thousands. I mean, when this first came out, you know, these were selling for like 400 or 500 bucks, and then the prices just went out of control because everybody wanted one. And you can see why. I mean, this is an amazing, amazing card. Again, Japanese printer, because only the icon. I mean, this card is just so much foil. I mean, the other card does it too. Very, very beautiful. So this is a very special card. This is and you can see why, just the foil just makes it pop and just brings the art to life. But this is the rarest card out of the set. Like the #1 rarest card. And the reason for that is that this card only exists in, I think the pull rate is like 1 out of 86 boxes or 80 boxes. Very, very, very hard to pull. And somehow, I don't know, I think I used up all my luck in 2020 to pull this card. I pulled this myself from a box I bought off of Amazon, of all places. And when I pulled this card, I freaked the fuck out. I literally couldn't believe it. And when you pull a $1,000 plus card yourself, I mean, my hands were literally shaking trying to put it in the sleeve. It was just insane. And I knew this was going to get a 9.5 because I'd scrutinized the hell out of it. And yeah, Beckett hooked me up. And one of the other reasons why it's so rare is because the artist, Yoshitaka Amano, if you've ever seen anything Final Fantasy, any art from Final Fantasy, this is the guy that drew it. And that's why it's just so beautiful. So again, this is just an amazing card, and I don't think I'll ever sell this. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Very, very beautiful card. And Yoshitaka Amano is one of the most famous, probably the famous artist to ever come from Japan. He's basically like the Japanese Picasso, or whatever artist you want to link him to. And he's drawn pretty much he was I think he still is the creative art director for Final Fantasy and Square Enix. And if you've ever seen a copy of Final Fantasy, the game cover, he's drawn that art. It's a very distinct style and a very pronounced way he draws his characters. And in an interview about what inspired him to draw this card, he really takes a lot of inspiration from women of the 1940s and 50s of old Hollywood, and that's kind of why she's in this pose and so pale in the face. And it's just an insanely beautiful card, as you can see. And the other reason you can tell it's a Japanese printer is because there's not too much foiling when you catch it in the right light. It's just enough. Beautiful card. So yeah, guys, that was my BGS sub. I appreciate you guys hanging around, and I'll see you in the next one.